Welcome to the second episode of my short presentations about lessons, the 100 lessons we can learn from A.S.Neill's book, Dominie's Lock. I'm sitting on a table in my study desk, and the reason why I'm sitting on the desk is that this is what I do at the beginning of many conferences and presentations that I do about Summerhill and about children's rights in schools. Why am I sitting on the desk? I'm sitting on the desk because this is the image that A.S.Neill starts with in the Dominie's Lock. And I start sitting on the desk in my presentations because I want all the teachers who are listening to me to think about how they think about their teaching, about their job, and about their work at the school. Because in this book, this is how Neill starts. He is a thoughtful teacher. He is a teacher who is sitting on a desk, and this is what he says. He says, "Tonight, after my bairns, my children, had gone away, I sat down on my desk and thought, what does it all mean? What am I trying to do? Those boys are going out to the fields to plough. These girls are going to farms as servants. If I live long enough, the new generation of children will be bringing notes of the please excuse James as I was washing type. And the parents who will write them went out that door 5 minutes ago. I can teach them to read. And they will read serials in the drivelling weeklies. I can teach them to write, and they will write pathetic notes to me by and by. I can teach them to count, and they will never count more than the miserable sum they receive as a weekly wage. The 3 R's spell futility. But what of the rest? Can I teach them drawing?" And he goes on. So here we have a teacher. It's at the beginning of the diary, so it's amongst the first few weeks of him teaching at this school, and he's sitting there as the head teacher of the school on his desk in an empty classroom at the end of the day, and he's thinking, why am I here? What is my job with this school? And ultimately, this is why he's writing this book. He's writing this book to find out, to discover. He's a reflective practitioner, is what we call them nowadays, and he's a researcher. He is actively going to research and reflect on what he does, why he does it, and what the outcomes are. He's not a researcher in the way we talk about them now, yeah? Because the word now is more to do with measurement and to do with statistics and to do with what they called not anecdote, not the experience, but the observation of lots of experiences that then can go into some statistical analysis. This is what frustrates me a lot about the debate about education today, is that we seem to have forgotten the narratives and the stories and the experiences of all the teachers that went before us. We now rely on evidence-based teaching, and that evidence base is by researchers, not by teachers. And the people who do this research are trained separately. They're trained as educationalists. They're trained within departments that are separate from the departments that do the teacher training. So there's been a separation. And I would argue that part of this, the way our schools have failed to live up to the expectations of Neill, is because of the dominance of the academic, because of the dominance of the researcher within education, and the loss of the community, like Neill, which became the New Ideals in Education community in 1914-15, and where they shared practice, and it was all published in the press, and they published and gave pamphlets of models of practice. They gave about 4,000 or 5,000 of them free, to send them free to teachers in their schools so they could learn from the models of practice that were developed by people like Neill. And that was paid by industrialists like William Mather, Sir William Mather, who funded it all. So the question is, what lesson can we learn from this part of the book? Well, the lesson we can learn is we need teachers not to reflect on outcomes, not to reflect on measurements, not to reflect on reading, writing and arithmetic, but to reflect on why. Why are they teaching? Why are they at school? And this is what it ends in this section. My work is hopeless, for education should aim at bringing up a new generation that will be better than the old. The present system is to produce the same kind of man as we see today. And how hopeless he or she is. When first I saw Houndsditch, I said aloud, we have had education for generations, and yet we have this. Yes, my work is hopeless. What is the use of the 3 R's of woodwork, of drawing, of geography, if Houndsditch, which is a part of London, is to remain? What is the use of anything? Thank you.